Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I will show you how to add a little bounce effect to your transitions using expression. So let's jump into After Effects, and first let's take a look at this expression and see how it works. You can find the expression in the video's description or in Discord. This expression is mostly used in motion graphic and was introduced by Parker from another YouTube channel called Animalplex, so feel free to check that out. And there are other similar expressions for bounce and drop effect, which I will also post them in Discord. So let's start with animating the scale property. So I will set a keyframe here with value 0 and move forward a few frames and set another value of 70. Now to use this expression, you can alt-click on the stopwatch here to bring up the expression editor. Then you can paste the whole expression here and click anywhere else to close the editor. Now let's do a preview, and you can see that it has added a nice bouncy effect. And this can also be applied to other properties such as position and rotation. Now let's take a closer look at the expression and the three variables that you can play around with. So the first one is the amplitude. Basically, the higher value, the more impact it will have, and it will result in more movement. So if I increase it to say 15, then you can see that the bounce is bigger. The second setting is the frequency, so a higher value here will result in more bounces. So if I increase it to 20, then you can see that it bounces a few more times. And the last setting is the decay, and a higher value here will make the bounce effect finish faster. So if I increase it to 10, then the bounce will stop quickly. And that's basically the three settings that you can tweak around. Now that we have a rough idea on how this expression works, let's apply it to some transitions. So you can start with animating your transitions as usual. It doesn't matter if you keyframe on the clips themselves or if you are using null objects, the concept is the same. So when you are done with setting up the transitions, you can start to apply this expression. The settings depend on how fast and how long your transitions are, so play around with these values until you get a decent bounce effect. And finally, when you are done, let's turn on the motion blur feature by clicking on this icon and check all these boxes to enable for all these layers. Then let's apply a motion tile effect to fill the gap. And here I will check mirror edges and increase the output width and height until the gaps are filled. And of course, you can always go back and adjust the keyframes and customize them by making them easy ease and adjust the value or speed graph depend on your liking. And that's basically how you can add a nice bounce effect to your transitions in an easy way. Otherwise, people usually manually keyframe the property to fake the bounces and shakes. And that can be a lot of work if you have many transitions. So this can be a better approach.
That'll go into this part right here.
So as always, thanks for watching and let me know in the comment if you have any feedback or suggestions, and I will see you in the next one.